So the first principle of influence, based on what Robert Cialdini wrote in his book, Influence, Science and Practice, and you can also visit his website at influenceatwork.com. The first one is called the contrast principle, and that works something like this. You've got 3 buckets of water in front of you. The bucket in the middle is room temperature, the bucket on the right is hot, the bucket on the left is cold. You put your right hand in the hot water, your left hand in the cold water, you hold them in, you take them out, you now put them in the room temperature water that's the same temperature as the room. It's the same temperature, but the hand that was in the hot water feels cold. The hand that was in the cold water feels hot. You use that contrast to convey a point. If I show you 2 buildings that are next to each other, and one of them is old and one of them is new, and I don't tell you how old they are, I say, how would you describe these buildings? You would instantly know. One's old, one's new. You're not going to notice that one is brick and one is glass. You're going to look at the age of those. You're going to see what's the most obvious difference between the 2 of those to make a point. So when I was a kid, I used to sell stuff door to door. I used to go around the neighborhood. It's almost like I had a little route. I would sell disco records, costume jewelry for the band, candy, gifts, magazines, fruit, grapefruit every year at Christmas, turkeys during Thanksgiving. It's like I had this route. I remember knocking on the neighbor's door, and she said, "Hey, Scotty, what do you have for us this week?" And I said, "Well, Mrs. Jones, I'm actually telling you that we have a Scout Jamboree this weekend, and I wanted to see if you'd be willing to chaperone 20 Boy Scouts all day Saturday and all day Sunday. Are you interested?" And you know what she said? She said, "No, I don't think so." And I said, "Okay, well, you know, I'm selling tickets to the Jamboree. They're only $2 each. Would you be willing to buy 3 of them?" "Sure." Easy sell. I contrasted one thing with something else. When we contrast things, we make a point. Here's another example. And a lot of you may have heard this story before, that when my boy was young, I would give him an allowance of $5 for every toy trip once a week to Toys R Us. And that's it. If you find a toy that's over the budget, we're not going to get it. It has to be $5 or less. And so one day we're leaving to go to Toys R Us, what he calls Toys for Us. And he said, "Daddy, today why don't we have a toy budget for this toy trip of $150. And I said, "No way, you're out of your mind, no." And he said, "Well, how about $15? I said, "Okay, $15. I said, "Wait a minute. I agreed to something that I normally would never have agreed to. But $150 compared to $15, I thought I was getting a deal, even though I'd never gone above $5 per trip at that point. You see what he did, he watches some of my videos when I'm not around, and he learned stuff from me. I didn't know if I should be upset or if I should be proud. So what's the practical application for you as a recruiter? You're on your desk. You want to contrast 2 different things. Let's say you're talking with a candidate, and he says, "I'm pretty happy where I'm at," but you know that there's something that he's not telling you. You sense that maybe this is someone that can go forward, that maybe there are some things about your client's opportunity that would be compelling to him if you can just get him on an interview. So this is what you say. You say, "You know what, Gary? I'm not asking you to leave your job. I'm not asking you to leave your firm. All I'm asking for you is to open your mind up. Let's just say that you go to my client's office and you just spend 45 minutes for a brief, informal conversation with one of their leaders in their organization. Worst case scenario, it's 45 minutes out of your life. Compare that to the rest of your career. I think that's a pretty safe bet. What do you think?" So what you've done, you've contrasted 45 minutes compared to the rest of his life. If you just said, "I want you to take an hour out of your busy schedule," time that you don't have because you have competing time demands. No. We're going to contrast something small with something big to show them that 45 minutes, that's like 2 Seinfeld episodes. That's not a long time. I've made placements with that. A lot of you know this, but you don't know that there's a system behind it. You can use that as a tool to get more people to say yes. And remember, when you move people through the process, it's one little step, followed by another little step, followed by another little step. Finally, it's one little yes that says, "Yes, I'm going to accept the offer." When we think in terms of how can I help you get what you want, and we use these tools of influence as tools to move people, you increase the probabilities of more candidates going forward and looking at your opportunities.